Inside the ITU studio today, I have with me a dynamic woman and trailblazer who is constantly evolving and creating various platforms to allow others with a voice. And she's the co-owner and founder of an insurance publication and also the Insurance Apprentice. With me is Rianet Whitehead. Thank you, Rianet. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for the absolute privilege.
And how are you feeling today?
I am feeling great. Can talk about TIA, I mean, really.
And that's on the show.
Yeah.
That's on the agenda. So before we actually delve into your extensive professional journey, what has it been like? What was it like growing up? What are your fondest memories of your childhood? And
I had a very stable upbringing. I'm the middle child with two brothers on both sides. Um, Stable parents. My dad jumped around a little bit in terms of his job, but always the entrepreneur that he wanted to be, and eventually ended up being a broker, financial advisor. And that was like not good enough, so he combined the brokerage with the magazine, and that's where I am part of now. But yeah, no, very good, very stable, very positive memories of my child upbringing.
oh, that's excellent. And then in terms of your academia, what made you pursue communications?
Um, I actually didn't know what I wanted to do. We had a conversation before this interview. Sometimes you just don't know what you want to do, right? I studied communication because language was the better version of me. Studied BA communication. I did my honors in communication. Actually, did my honors in visual communication. And afterwards, I thought, why visual communication? Why did I not do it in journalism? But it was an amazing story because now with TIA, that visual communication honors do have some help for me. But that's what I studied. And then, I was a lecturer in communication at Technikon SA, which is now UNISA, and then eventually ended up with my dad in the business.
And what has it been like working with your dad? I'm sure growing up you had certain perceptions about the industry. What were the first perceptions?
So initially when I joined my dad, I didn't go in with any insurance knowledge or investment knowledge per se. And when I joined him, I wasn't actually sure what my role was going to be because I was not really a journalist. I am not really a journalist, and people know that I'm very open about it. Although I am the editor of FA News, I'm still not the journo people think I am. And he was slowly but surely sort of taking me with to clients, and we were figuring out where I would work in the business. And it turns out that marketing was my much stronger point compared to anything else in the business. And then I got to know the business. I worked there for a few years. Took a short break because I had twins, which I didn't plan because we don't have twins in the family. So the twin story was a little bit of a surprise. I took a break and I returned back. And when I came back about a year and a half after I returned, my dad passed away very suddenly. My mom sold the business to a guy in the industry, and about 10 months later, I bought it back from him. So, and
Okay, full
that's
circle in that moment.
full circle, and that was in 2006.
Oh, and at the time when you were working with your father, was there ever that expectation from him for you to proceed with his legacy in terms of continuing in the industry and with the publication?
Yes, I think there was definitely that hope and that idea because both my brothers are in IT. So I think when you, as a parent, have your own business, it's really small like that. It would be great for you if you can think that one of your kids can take it over. So yeah, I think that was what he hoped, and it happened.
It is. I always believe if something's meant to happen, it
Yes.
happens.
No, my puzzles, I can tell you that puzzle pieces, how it fits in. It was meant to be 100%.
And now you're dealing with, publication that you've taken over, but how do you maintain that legacy that was built, but still evolve and modernize it and give it your own spin?
Yeah, so when I took the business over, my husband was like, "Are you sure? Are you ready for this?" I was fairly young. It's not, I wasn't very young. There's a lot of people that run their own businesses a lot earlier than what I was, the age I was. I was in my early 30s. But I've never seen myself as a businesswoman.
Yeah.
I've never seen myself as someone, as an entrepreneur, even an entrepreneur. I mean, I worked in the business. I did not think that there was an entrepreneurial bone in my body. And through this, okay, this is now your own business, and you're responsible for the people in here, for yourself. Um, I ventured into research and ideas, and the one thing led to the other. And I always recognized my dad. So we turned 27 years old, FA News, a few at the end of April. And that was one of the things I did, was I did recognize him and remembered him. So now I always remember him, and fondly think of the basis and the foundation that he laid with this business. But we just made it our own, yeah.
But that's inspirational because you still maintain the legacy.
Yeah.
You make it your own.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there may have been some key lessons that you've learned from your father.
Yes,
What were those?
100%. Never give up.
Yeah.
Only stop asking people for money when they say no. If they don't respond, keep on asking. A lot of people in the industry know me for that, and I think I irritate a lot of people by that. But it took me a while to get to that question, to ask people for money. But once I got in it, my dad was amazing with networking. He could speak to anyone. So it's something I try. I don't always get it as really as good as he did. Tenacity, resilience. Yeah, it's stuff that a lot of people say that I do take after my dad a lot more than my mom. So there's a lot of things, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. He's left you with something beautiful, and
Yeah.
this is the continuation of that journey.
Yes.
Now we've seen the world evolve, and you go from we go into a digital era. How have you had to evolve that business to make sure that you're keeping up with the world so that you're not
Yeah.
behind?
Thank you for that question. It was, I mentioned the puzzle pieces. Those puzzle pieces kept on falling into the right places without us really knowing that what we're actually doing now, a few years from now, is we're going to look back and say that was the best thing we did at the best time that we did it. So the CPD, continuous professional development, when that became really a thing, we decided to build a system, obviously digital, into our website, and people can do that. So it took obviously a long time for people to sort of understand that and realize that, but now it's the easiest system to use, and we've got over 30,000 people registered on our system. Obviously, in terms of a publication, we were a print publication, then everything started to become digital. No, we just decided we're not going to stop printing. There is nothing as amazing as holding that final product in your hand after you've worked so hard to get that product together. And we are in an industry where there are still a lot of people who want that print publication. So we print, but obviously you adapt. So we are digital too. So for those who wants the digital, it's there, it's available. So I think you just find a combination of what works. We started the newsletters. We revamped our website recently to fit in with the new standards of cell phone and laptop and iPad, and you have to adapt. You have to invest that money into your business. Luckily, those are not huge costs, but it's small things that you can do to make yourself relevant and keep yourself relevant.
And staying relevant
And
is
staying
key. And
as relevant is key. 100% key. And I think we've really managed to do that.
No, but that's excellent because that's like how you stay ahead.
Yeah.
And that is so important.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's such a phenomenal publication.
Thank you.
Everyone knows about it.
Yes.
And when you feature in it, you're so excited.
Yes, right.
And now tell me, in terms of, when you think of your publication or you think of the way people communicate, you've been in this industry for over 2 decades.
Yes.
What has changed from way back then and now in terms of the way people are communicating?
Well, communicating is one thing. When I remember so well when I started with my dad, emails was just sort of being introduced and just becoming a real thing where you can do proper emails and um, sending the publication to someone for proofread and for approval. It was such a challenge. Anyway, technology is amazing and it changes, but um, you technology changes super fast. And if you, I don't even have to tell you how you communicate. You can now send a whole magazine via WhatsApp, via WhatsApp. Think of 5 years ago, you would have never thought that that would even be possible. So, um, CPD,
Yeah.
another way, how relevant that is. And also 5, 10 years ago, it sort of started coming in and people were not sure how to do that and seen it as a slip. Today, I think people realize it is actually beneficial for our industry. It is beneficial for you as a person, and we make it as easy as possible. We get that feedback a lot. It's so easy. So you have to make it easy. I think that's the bottom line.
Make it easy.
Make it
Easy,
easy.
convenient, and
Make it
effective.
easy, but be the best.
And that's what you are. Could say. What I'd like to know is, in terms of the future, where do you see the digital space? What do you think? How do you think things are going to emerge?
That's something I've never been amazing with, is predicting
Yeah.
that. But when I keep tabs with whatever is going on, and if I see there's a little bit of a trend or something that is done differently, we speak about it. Obviously, we are a small business. We can't implement massively expensive stuff. But I think even small things, you just have to make sure. So one example was we saw a newsletter, and the interview was embedded. It's a simple thing. Interview was embedded into the newsletter. It's something we haven't started doing. We've got the interview, but then it's a click through to the YouTube, to the mentioned it to Michelle once, without having to talk to her a second time. She started delving into it, and now we do it as well. So I think sometimes it's just small things. You don't have to turn the world around, just making sure that you stay. I don't know what the future holds, but we most certainly want to try and keep up with everything as fast as
And that's
possible.
the way of the world, right? You have
Yes,
to keep up, you have to
yes,
keep going, try
yes,
new things,
yes,
if it's right for you, though.
yes.
But I've also noticed that apart from the professional side, in terms of just the business side, you've been involved in other initiatives, such as you're the founding member of the Gauteng Women of Insurance,
Yes.
and you've been a president of the
Yes,
GWI. What
I
has
have.
that been like?
So also proud to say that I and my business partner Michelle, we were part of the founding members of GWII in that phase when we bought the business back from that guy. I obviously had to find ways to make sure the business stays relevant and relevant and relevant. I came across these newsletters. What I remember very specifically was it was very much Australian newsletters where there was a lot of these women organizations, women events, women in insurance, women in Australia finance. And I was like, you know, the old thing of guys play golf and what do we do, as women? It was a very male dominated industry for a very long time, but things started to change. And we thought, I said to Michelle, this sounds like something we can start. We have got the footage, the data, we've got the channel to reach people. So we are the ideal people to start something like a women's organization. The technicalities we didn't know. We didn't think about that, but we thought that might be a good idea. I started to talk to people as we do in our industry, network. And I started mentioned it to someone at the FA News ad meeting, and she said, there is currently a LinkedIn group called Gauteng Women in Insurance, and there's about 77 members on this LinkedIn group. Maybe I need to introduce you to the founding members of this group, I think which she was probably one. And we went for breakfast, and I would say the rest is history. We did also, I think it's also now 10, 11 years old. We did our first event. It was small. Now GWI is like, it's the thing in the industry. There's like, I think, probably 2,000 members, of which about half of them are paid members. So you get certain benefits when you're a paid member versus unpaid member. But I think we filled a massive void. And we combine events. We do from networking to the more serious stuff, to we work with other associations. So yeah, I think that's one of the things I'm also very, very, very proud of. Gauteng Women in Insurance as one of the founding members. Yeah, we're making a difference there.
And that's the thing, it's about making a difference, and
Yeah.
that's something definitely to be
Yeah.
proud of.
Yeah.
But what do you think within the industry still requires some kind of addressing? What gaps are there?
Specifically towards the women.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of work has been done. I think there is a lot of focus on trying to fill that gaps. It is maybe slower than what we want, but I think this is something you can't necessarily force. And you know, sometimes people have mindsets and it takes a lot of work. It depends on people's personalities, and it's not something you're going to change overnight. If there's enough be done, maybe we can do more, but there is most certainly progress, and I think that is good enough. As long as there's progress, and we can see the progress. I mean, we deal with a lot of companies or across the whole industry on various levels, and there's progress. There's most certain, yes, there's places where there's a problem, but there is progress, and that is for me
The most important.
the most important.
Now,
Yeah.
I don't think our males in the industry can actually best support females better.
You know, as someone who have 3 sons,
Yeah.
it's always an interesting response that I'm trying to think of, because I've got those 3 boys who has to go into businesses. Where does it leave them if yeah. At the end of the day, as with every part of this journey, it's about giving people opportunities to grow and giving the job to the best person.
Yeah.
But open up opportunities for growth when you see there are gaps. And I think that's where the Insurance Apprentice fills quite a few gaps, is we give people opportunity to step up, put themselves out of their comfort zones and grow. If you don't give the people that opportunities, that won't happen. So give them the opportunity to grow, and maybe they can step into that role, because you can't force people to go into roles that they're not ready for. You're setting them up for failure.
Okay.
So for me, it's not, I know we need more women in more senior positions, but it's a journey.
It is a journey. And speaking of the Insurance Apprentice, congratulations.
How much time do you have?
How did you actually come up with that idea? Because when I look back at my journey many, many years ago, there was no such platform. And when
Right.
that came up, we were like, where was this?
Yeah.
So what was the inspiration behind that? And
So it goes back to, okay, Rianet, you have to make this business work. You have to take it to the next level. And what is that? And in that same time, when I saw this women organization story, I picked up on a UK newsletter, something called The Broker Apprentice. So very different. You can't even compare it, but it was one company that sponsors it, and then they get 5 people to do different tasks within the organization.
Yeah.
Very formal, very dull, very specific. There's no drama, there's no sarcasm, there's no jokes. It's very like straightforward. But that idea was like, okay, here is something that we can make, that we can work with. It's a start of something. And I started talking to some industry people, and I was like, I don't think I see myself as a risk taker, but sometimes I have got ideas and I'm like, I'm fairly sure that this can work. Started talking to people, and we giggle when we look back to say the processes we went through, the camera crew we used. I mean, we grew in leaps and bounds, the CHCA 11. But that's how I came up with the idea, and I just decided I'm going to give it a go. What can go wrong? It can't work, and then I leave it, or it can work and it can make a difference and change so many people's lives, and that's what we've done.
And it has changed so many
Yeah.
people's lives. It's been an amazing platform. And in your view, what has been your proudest moments from
Oh,
this year?
listen, yeah, I think I think one of the things I am exceptionally happy about is the fact that we are going to television this year. Um, for me, we all know what the perceptions are about insurance out there. So my hope is really that with this, we're going to really tell people that insurance is much wider than what you think. We as an industry want to help you. We want to change perceptions. You will see when you go through those episodes that there are real efforts to try and find solutions for consumers to be insured. We want to pay claims if they're valid. We want to educate people about the need for that and the fact that, yeah, that is, I think, I would not say that is my proudest moment, but that is something that I am exceptionally excited about. And I think every year, the final product is just something because you don't know what next year holds. Yeah. So for that year, that is like, wow, we've stepped it up. Wow, we've stepped it up. Every year, every single year, we change it up, we step it up. It's just amazing.
And as a viewer, it gets more exciting. I
Yes.
can honestly tell you when we see participants, we are so excited. So it adds another level of excitement on our side.
Yeah, listen, and the production crew we have really understands the narrative that it's a reality type TV story and there needs to be drama and there needs to be education. You sometimes battle to work in the education part and we have to reel him in a little bit because the drama is just too exciting. But that is what is going to make people watch. And this year we also with the competition, I mean, we've got a lot of cash people can win, viewers can win 50,000 Rand cash for voting for your favorite contestant. Who is not going to enter that competition?
Entering.
Hello? Exactly. And then also 5,000 Rand per episode to answer a question correct.
Wow.
Mm.
So it's something to look forward
Yeah.
to then.
No,
Okay.
there's, believe you me, it's a season. It's another amazing season.
Any chance are we going to get to see you this time?
No.
You still
I'm
there?
behind the scenes. You're seeing my name as is executive producer,
Yeah.
but that's where it ends.
It's been phenomenal.
Yeah, no, it's very
You've done
exciting.
the GWI, you've done the Gauteng Woman, you've done the TIA, you've got a publication, but now you've also got a family life. How do you manage to balance everything from the professional, the family?
I'm happy to say that I'm an empty nester. Yay. Joke. So yeah, I've got the 3 boys. This year I'll be married 30 years. It's a lifetime. Thank you. Kids are, 3 boys, doing really well, still all studying. The budget is slightly tight in the Whitehead household, but the amazing opportunity I had was I could run my business.
Yeah.
I had OPs throughout their whole, well, basically mostly primary school career because in high school you sort of, they're on their own a lot more. She attended to every single thing, and then I was at 99% of all the rugby matches, all the cricket matches, all the things that they had to do. I was there, and I think there's not many people that is as privileged as what I have, as what I was, to really find that magic combo, to really attend all that stuff and give my full attention to the work. And when I work, I work, and when I'm sitting next to the rugby and cricket field, initially I thought I'll work next to the cricket field because your child doesn't always bat and bowl, right?
Yeah.
And when my child bats, I'll work, but no. I couldn't full attention to this cricket game. So and the presence and being present, it's like what you say, and I was there, and that was a real privilege that I know not everyone can have, but I'm so grateful that was my journey. And today we see the results with the boys. They all good kids doing their thing, and yeah.
Whilst they're studying their own, pursuing academia in their own, they chose their own path in life.
Yes.
Was there ever any expectation on your part that they would actually step into the business?
No, not at all. They're far too clever to run my business. No, I'm joking. No, their interest was just not in any way in the right direction of business. As a parent, you take them to these tests, and they have to go and do these aptitude tests and all. What was very interesting, my husband's an accountant, CA, so he's on the business side of things. I myself runs a business, but on all three of them, it was very clear that they're not supposed to go into business. So the twins are studying medicine, and the youngest one is engineering. They might have ended running their own business as a practice. I don't know, but it was clear. And writing and communication and marketing, it's just not something. So no, my puzzles, I told you about my puzzles that's fit in. I believe that piece of puzzle, when that big word retirement is going to happen for me, will work out the way it should. I have no idea what it is, but it's going to be something, and it's going to work out.
It will work out,
Yeah. And it's going to be someone that is hopefully as passionate as what we are about the business.
And that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Someone to continue it forward.
Yeah.
But I've also heard that you were an avid golfer.
I am a golfer, not a good one, but I am. I love the golf, and I think that's also why I'm still married, because I always tell the kids, in your relationship, try and find something that you do together, but also give each other space to do your own thing. And that we've managed very well. And golf is something we play together. And that's also something, obviously, I play in the industry, which is amazing. So,
and in addition to all the other things, the roles that you fulfill, so that's very phenomenal.
Yeah.
What would you like to be remembered for?
Making a difference.
Yeah.
Changing people's life, and just be passionate about what I do.
And if there's any advice that you could give to anybody that wants to enter this industry, what would you do? What would you give them?
Give it a try. You don't always know where your path is going to lead. But if you've got an opportunity, take that opportunity and go full blast. If it works out, it works out. If not, something else will come your way. This is a phenomenal industry. There are so many opportunities. I think many of us, you start in one place, you end up in a completely different place, because there are opportunities, and companies do give people opportunities to go in different directions, to grow, to do things, to take part in stuff. So, yeah. So
if anything I've learned and observed of you, you're constantly evolving. So when I think of you, I know in the future we're probably going to see you trying your hand at something else. So that's
you never know.
And something to look forward to. So I'm thinking, how about we do a round of quick fire? I'm going to ask you some questions. And then you just say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Never ever have I.
Never ever have I ate a whole chili.
Maybe that will be a day What's the best advice you've ever received?
Be true to yourself.
Yeah.
And always be honest and walk the straight line, because the wheel turns.
Thank you for making time for us. Thank you for gracing us with your presence and being here with us. And
thank you. I really, really appreciate the opportunity to chat.
And one thing I could say, that with everything that you're doing, there's that impact.
Thank you.
And difference that you're making.
That is what we hope to do.
Yeah.
Thank you.